We're back at it again. We're back at it again with the white Vans. We're back at it again. I do have white Vans on. They're not even white anymore. These hoes are dirty. Today's video is gonna be about cars and motorcycles. I've had a motorcycle, okay? I had a car before that. I had a car, and then I got rid of the car, and then I got a motorcycle. I had a few Ninjas within the past year. You know, I kind of went on like not like a self-discovery thing. Like, it wasn't really like that. Well, it wasn't intended to be like that, but really, you know, I got rid of my car and I got a motorcycle instead because it was cheaper. You know, you don't have to pay as much money in gas. Insurance is a lot cheaper. Like, you can take a motorcycle pretty much anywhere. Like, it's smaller than a car. Like, it's easier to work on yourself. That was really how I got into like working on cars. And, you know, I figured if I get a motorcycle, I'll learn how to wrench on it myself. You know, it'll save me like some mechanic bills or whatever. It'll be a fun experience. Just getting a motorcycle, learning how to ride, learning how to wrench on it. Part of the community, that was the best part about it for me. It's kind of hand in hand, you know, riding and the community. I love the experience of riding. You know, I really wasn't expecting to like it that much. It just kind of blew me away with how amazing it was, you know, just being exposed to the elements and like going fast and feeling the wind rushing around you and just like experiencing what it was like to be so exposed. It's so exhilarating. And another thing that blew me away about it was the community. Like, other bikers, you know, would come up to me and be like, yo man, I love the bike. Like, you would get to chopping it up and start talking about what bikes you guys ride and you like how fast have you gone and like what's a good area that you like to go around. And just seeing another biker while you're out there, you do the signs, you know, you put the 2 fingers down, and like that was some of my most favorite parts about it, was just putting those 2 fingers down and being like, yo, I get you, man. Like, I don't even know who you are. I'll probably never see you again in my life. But we got those 2 fingers down and we respect each other, bro. Because it takes a lot to be able to ride. You have to learn how to do it, first of all, which it's not that hard, but, you know, there are people who have issues with it, you know. It's not easy, but it's not hard. It's like learning how to drive a car, and anyone can do it, really. But, you know, there's certain skill levels at it, and, you know, it's just respect, because it takes guts to be on a motorcycle. People who ride, you know, what's the one thing that everyone tells you? Be careful out there, man. Like, because they know, everyone knows it's dangerous. Every time that I've gotten in an accident on a motorcycle, the motorcycle is definitely, I don't know what it is, but the motorcycle always gets way more fucked up than I do. Even though, like, last time I did get pretty fucked up. Like, that shit hurt. Don't get me wrong, that shit hurt. But the motorcycle definitely got worse than I did. Like, as far as I know, I didn't break any bones or have any. I'm still kind of considering, like, my thumb is a little bit fucked up still. Like, I don't know what happened with that, but like, I can still use it. Like, it's fine. It's fine. But it definitely hurt. Like, I was thinking that, like, my foot or my hand was, like, fucked up. And maybe I got a concussion, maybe. Who knows? I didn't go to a hospital. Who needs that? But anyway, my point is, it's not safe to be on a motorcycle. Even just a small crash, like, even just laying it down sometimes, it's like, that shit hurts, man. So it is dangerous. It's a lot more dangerous than being in a car. You know, in a car, you have seat belts, you have seats, you have airbags, you have like this whole frame, this big metal cage surrounding you. Like, it's still dangerous. You can still get hurt and die, but just the the danger level rises dramatically on a motorcycle. It commands a level of respect. Some people would say that it's stupid, which, you know, I can kind of agree with that. It's a little bit stupid. Not stupid so much as like it's reckless, you know. But if you're a good rider, you know what to look for, you know the signs, you know what the proper procedures, you know. Like if you have a good head on your shoulders, it's not any more dangerous really than driving a car as far as driving it goes. But you know, if you get in an accident, like at that point there's not really much you can do when you're in an accident. Like you're basically just at the mercy of God at that point. Like you hit the ground, or you hit a car, or you hit a tree going like 80, 100 miles an hour, like the only thing saving you from that is the grace of God at that point. I'm not a religious person, but you know, sometimes it feels like you get in those situations and it's like that was a miracle, really, what happened if you walk away from that. I've been lucky enough to be in a few accidents, but nothing too serious. Like I haven't lost my life, thankfully. I haven't lost really anything. I just lost some money fixing the bike again, but that's to be expected. But yeah, it's definitely, it's a whole different animal, really, than driving a car or a truck. It's its own animal, man. It's different. And you know, I didn't go into it expecting to like change myself in any meaningful way. You know, it was really just to save money and to, you know, be cool, basically. Like ever since I was a kid, I thought motorcycles were cool as fuck. I never thought that I'd get on one, let alone like have one or be able to drive one whenever I wanted to. But that whole experience really, like, I don't want to say that it changed me, but like it did kind of change me. Like you develop a different outlook on life whenever you like have those type of experiences. It doesn't matter what it is, really. It could be anything. It could be golfing, it could be basketball, it could be like crocheting, it could be like making model Gundams, like anything. Like a hobby is a hobby. Like you find something that you really resonate with and something that, you know, it makes you happy, and it fills a void in your life that you didn't really know was there. Like I didn't know that I needed it until I had been there and I experienced it, and I was like, now it's like I wouldn't do anything different at all. Like that whole experience, you know, in the winter time it sucked because it was cold as hell, but I wouldn't change any of it. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience. Because motorcycles are fucking sick. So, like, I had a motorcycle, and I decided to get rid of it. Why, you might ask? Most people are like, yeah, that's a fucking easy decision. Of course you would have a car instead. A car is much better than a motorcycle. And to that, I might say, touche. You make a good point. But you've obviously never been on a motorcycle before. I'm not gonna say that, man. You might have been on a motorcycle. Anyway, so I had a motorcycle and I got rid of it, and now I have a car. The car is nice. I like the car. I like cars. And I like motorcycles. Who would have thought? But I can't argue with the fact that a car is a lot more convenient. It's a lot nicer to have a car instead of a motorcycle. If I can have a car and a motorcycle, that'd be sick. That would like solve 99% of my problems if I had a car and a motorcycle. Because motorcycles are fucking sick. Dude, take the car whenever I need a car. And every other time, take a motorcycle, bro. Like, it's an amazing hobby. You might be saying, well, why'd you get rid of the motorcycle? Like, what made you, stop with the motorcycle life and, come back to having a car? Because mostly it was for convenience, if I'm being honest. It was for just convenience, On a motorcycle, having a passenger on a motorcycle is a lot different than riding a motorcycle by yourself. And it's a lot different than having a passenger seat, having a back seat. This car doesn't really. It has a back seat, but nobody's fitting back there, man. I've had so many people complain. I've got my seat up, I could push it up maybe another inch or two, but nobody's fitting back there unless they're laying down. But I have a trunk. It's just convenient to be able to have another person come with you easily, and to be able to, fit groceries in the trunk, or let's say I move somewhere, I can put stuff in my car and take it with me. You can't really do that on a motorcycle. You can to a certain extent. You can get tank bags and tail bags, and I would always ride around with a backpack so that I would always have stuff on me. I would always ride with tools with me, just in case something happened. I could wrench on it real quick and fix it. But you don't really have storage. You can't really take things with you. Obviously there are some exceptions, but you can't really take things with you. Adding weight to the motorcycle was kind of you have to go slower. You can't really, for someone of average skill, this was when I just started, putting the extra weight on the bike is it affects it a lot, how much weight you put on it. But in a car, I could load this thing down and I could still be going 80 miles an hour and be fine. And I've got all this extra, this is a small car, this is a coupe. There's not that much space in here, but compared to a motorcycle, I could fit everything I own in this car and be fine. So it really just came down to convenience. And having a car, while driving a car is not necessarily as fun as riding a motorcycle, it's definitely it's still fun. I still enjoy it, and I just like driving. So for me, I can still enjoy having a car. I can still, enjoy the extra space, and it does suck having to this is a small car, so it doesn't take much to fill up the tank, but it is a lot more than, let's say, less than $10 to fill up a motorcycle. That'll be good for a week. This is $35 to fill it up. So it's kind of a difference, but with the pros and cons, it's negligible. I would rather have a car than a motorcycle, but if I could have both of them at the same time, I could take this when I need it, and then whenever I want to go riding, or let's say I just wanted to take the bike out for whatever reason, in case I don't need a car at this point, I can take the bike out instead. That would be ideal, because I do miss having a bike. I do miss the community and the feeling of feeling the wind rush past you. Although this car does not have AC, so I do have to roll the windows down sometimes and feel the wind like that. It's not the same, really. But I digress. It is what it is. I do miss the bike, but having a car is just way more convenient. Now, would I go back and would I change anything? Obviously I had a car, and then I had a bike, and then I got a car again. Some people would be well, you should have just had a car the whole time. I feel me having the bike and me having that experience was well worth it. I wouldn't change anything about that whole experience. I had a car, and then I had a bike, and then I ended up getting a car again. It was the experience for me. That's what made it all, It was really fun. It was really fun. Eventually I am going to get another motorcycle, obviously. It's too fun for me to leave it at that chapter of my life, you know. For right now, I just have a car and I'm fine with that. But in the future, I am gonna get another motorcycle. It is interesting, you know. I wasn't expecting it to turn into what it did and how it affected me. As far as for right now, that's all I really gotta say about it. All right, peace.